Hey everyone, Tony here. Today we're diving into a topic that's more complex than a Michelin-starred tasting menu, cultural attitudes towards sex. And trust me, it's a fascinating journey. You see, in Denmark, the approach to discussing sex is as refined and thoughtful as the preparation of a gourmet meal. It's not just about the act itself, but the entire culture surrounding it. And nowhere is the contrast starker than between the open-faced sandwiches of Scandinavia and the delicate dumplings of Asia. Just like these dishes, cultural attitudes towards sex can be vastly different yet equally rich in tradition and meaning. Let's start in Denmark, a country where talking about sex is about as taboo as discussing the weather. Here, open dialogue is not just encouraged, it's a way of life. They've got sex ed in schools that would make a sailor blush. From a young age, Danes are taught about the intricacies of human sexuality in a straightforward and honest manner. We're talking comprehensive, no-holds-barred discussions about everything from consent to contraception. It's not just about the mechanics, but also about respect, boundaries, and mutual understanding.
And it's not just in the classroom. This open dialogue extends to all aspects of Danish life. Danes are comfortable discussing sexuality openly, whether it's at the dinner table or in the pub. Conversations about relationships, sexual health, and personal experiences are common and welcome. They see it as a natural part of life, not something to be ashamed of or hidden away. This openness fosters a culture of trust and mutual respect, where individuals feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment. In Denmark, the belief is that open dialogue leads to healthier relationships and a more informed society. By normalizing these conversations, they remove the stigma and create an environment where everyone can thrive. So, whether you're in a classroom, a cafe, or even just walking through a park, the Danish approach to discussing sex is all about openness, education, and respect. It's a model that many other cultures could learn from. As we wrap up, remember that the way we talk about sex can shape our relationships in our society. Denmark's open dialogue is a testament to the power of communication and understanding. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep the conversation going and stay curious.
Now let's hop a flight to Asia, where things are a little different. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of passion and fire in these cultures, but it's often expressed in more subtle ways. Think about it. The delicate brush of a geisha's sleeve, the poetry of a Tang dynasty love letter.
In many Asian cultures, sexuality is something deeply personal, tied to family honor and tradition. Public displays of affection? Not so much. Openly discussing sex? You're more likely to hear crickets chirping. It's not that sex is taboo, exactly. It's just approached with a sense of discretion and respect for social norms. This difference in attitude plays out in everything from public spaces to media. Walk through a park in Copenhagen on a sunny day, and you might see couples holding hands, kissing, even sunbathing topless. It's all part of the landscape.
Now picture a similar scene in, say, Kyoto. You'll see couples strolling hand in hand, but the PDA stops there. Public displays of affection are generally frowned upon. It's not about repression, but rather a sense of decorum and respect for others.
So, what's the verdict? Is one approach better than the other? This question has been debated for years with no clear consensus. On one hand, the freedom and openness of Western societies like Denmark offer a sense of liberation and individualism. On the other hand, the deeply rooted traditions and values in many Asian cultures provide a strong sense of community and belonging. Like most things in life, it's not that simple. Each approach has its own set of advantages and disadvantages, and what works for one person or society may not work for another. The key is to find a balance that respects both individual freedom and communal values. Denmark's openness has its benefits. Lower rates of teen pregnancy, for example, and a greater acceptance of sexual diversity. This openness allows people to express themselves freely and live authentically, without fear of judgment or discrimination. It fosters an environment where people can explore their identities and make informed choices about their lives.
But some argue that it can lead to the objectification of women and a decline in traditional values. Critics say that too much freedom can result in a loss of moral compass, where anything goes and nothing is sacred. They worry that the erosion of traditional values can weaken the social fabric and lead to a more fragmented society.
Asia's more conservative approach, on the other hand, emphasizes family, commitment, and respect for elders. These values create a strong sense of duty and responsibility, ensuring that the younger generation takes care of the older one. It fosters a sense of continuity and stability, where traditions are passed down and respected. But it can also create a climate of shame and silence around sex, making it difficult for people to access information and support. This can lead to issues being swept under the rug, where people suffer in silence rather than seeking help. The stigma around discussing sexual matters can prevent people from getting the education and resources they need to make informed decisions.
Like a perfectly balanced dish, there are pros and cons to each approach. The challenge lies in finding a way to blend the best of both worlds, creating a society that values both freedom and tradition. It's about striking a balance where people can enjoy the benefits of openness while still holding on to the values that give their lives meaning and structure. In the end, it's not about choosing one over the other, but about finding harmony between the two.
Now, I'm not here to tell you which culture has got it right.
Because the truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
What's important is understanding and respecting these differences.
Think of it like trying a new cuisine for the first time.
You might not love every flavor, but you approach it with an open mind and a willingness to learn.
The same goes for cultural attitudes towards sex.
Just because something's different doesn't mean it's wrong.
It's about appreciating the nuances and complexities of different cultures.
Here's the bottom line, folks. Respect is key.
Just like you wouldn't walk into someone's home and start criticizing their furniture, you shouldn't impose your own cultural norms on others.
Whether you're in Copenhagen, or Kyoto, Mumbai, or Manila, approach each culture with an open heart and a willingness to learn.
Ask questions, listen to the answers, and try to understand the why behind the what.
You might be surprised at what you discover.
And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two about yourself along the way.
Remember, there's beauty in diversity.
The world would be a pretty boring place if we were all the same.
So, embrace the differences, celebrate them, learn from them.
Just like a good meal, life is about savoring the full spectrum of flavors and experiences.
And that includes appreciating the different ways cultures approach love, sex, and everything in between.
So, let's raise a glass or a chopstick to understanding, respect, and the fascinating tapestry of human experience. Look, we're all just trying to navigate this crazy thing called life. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and unexpected surprises. Every day we encounter new challenges and opportunities that shape our experiences and perspectives.
We all have our own beliefs, values, and experiences that shape who we are. These elements are like the threads that weave the fabric of our identities. They influence our decisions, our actions, and how we interact with the world around us.
And when it comes to something as personal as sexuality, those differences can be amplified. Our personal experiences and cultural backgrounds can lead to a wide range of perspectives and feelings about this deeply personal aspect of our lives.
But instead of judging or condemning, let's try to approach each other with empathy and curiosity. Imagine how much more harmonious our interactions could be if we took the time to understand where others are coming from, rather than jumping to conclusions or making snap judgments.
Let's have open and honest conversations even when it's uncomfortable. It's through these dialogues that we can break down barriers, dispel myths, and build bridges of understanding. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it.
And let's remember that at the end of the day, we're all more alike than we are different. We share common hopes, dreams, and aspirations. We all seek happiness, fulfillment, and a sense of belonging.
We all want to be loved, accepted, and understood. These are universal desires that transcend cultural, social, and geographical boundaries. They are the threads that connect us all as human beings.
And that's something we can all get behind, no matter where we come from or what we believe. By embracing our shared humanity, we can create a world where everyone feels valued and respected. Let's make that our collective goal. So, the next time you find yourself face to face with a cultural difference, whether it's about sex, food, or anything else, take a deep breath and remember this. The world is a vast and wondrous place full of different perspectives and ways of life. Let's approach each other with open minds, open hearts, and a healthy dose of curiosity. Because at the end of the day, understanding and respecting our differences is the only way to truly savor the full flavor of the human experience. Bon appetit, everybody. And remember, travel changes you. It should.